Thank you, Mr. Garamendi. You know, I'm privileged to represent the people of southwestern Illinois, that swath of the great state running along the Mississippi River from just north of St. Louis, from Alton, Illinois, all the way south to Cairo. And those 12 counties of southern Illinois, southwestern Illinois, were once an industrial powerhouse. It was said 4 decades ago, 5 decades ago, if you wanted to work, go to East St. Louis, Illinois, and there'll be a job for you there. There were jobs in the steel mills. There were jobs in the packing houses. There were jobs in the stove foundries in Belleville. There were jobs in the coal mines of southern Illinois. Those jobs are, by and large, gone today. There are a few bright spots. There have been U.S. Steel has a plant in Granite City that's still pouring steel. Alton Steel in Alton, Illinois is reopened. A local entrepreneur bought it, and they're pouring steel in Alton again. But you know, those jobs in the packing houses are gone. The jobs in the aluminum industry, those jobs are gone. And that's why they call it the Rust Belt, because so many of those factories are closing and rusting away. Technology has changed a lot of that, and we need to adapt to that technology. And to that end, the Assistant Minority Leader, Mr. Steny Hoyer, along with Mr. Garamendi, and myself, introduced the JOBS Act. That JOBS Act is sitting here. It needs to be acted upon. We can't get the leadership to act upon it, but we introduced this JOBS Act, and we introduced it because there are really 4 priority areas that are central to achieving manufacturing growth in this country. Again, first of all, we need to have a national manufacturing strategy. Other countries have it. We need to have one. We need to have a strategy that pushes our manufacturing. Secondly, we need to promote the export of U.S.-made goods. Thirdly, we need to encourage businesses to bring jobs and bring innovation back to the shores of our country. And lastly, we need to train and secure a 21st century workforce. And that's really what the JOBS Act does. That act invests in our future. It invests in our infrastructure, our human infrastructure, the people who drive those machines, the people who drive our economy. And, you know, it was interesting that Mr. Garamendi mentioned food stamps. I want to talk about food stamps for just a minute because far too many people in my district survive on food stamps. And something over 60% of the people on food stamps are children. It's not people who aren't working because they don't want to be working. 60% are children who are in low-income families. And the bulk of the adults who are on food stamps are working adults, and they're working in minimum wage jobs. They're working in fast food restaurants, or they're working in other minimum wage jobs. And you can't raise a family in southern Illinois on a minimum wage job. We need to have jobs that pay a living wage with good health insurance, with good fringe benefits that provide a living wage for families. When you do that, what happens? You don't have people on food stamps. You don't have people on unemployment. You instead have people who are paying taxes. You have people who are spurring the economy. You have people who are buying new pickup trucks and new curtains for the living room and so on and on. And that it generates an economy that generates good jobs. Now, to talk about our JOBS Act that Mr. Garamendi and Mr. Hoyer and I introduced, what does it do? You know, it's designed to support advanced manufacturing. Now, why do we want to support advanced manufacturing? We want to support advanced manufacturing because, and there was an article in the Wall Street Journal just the other day, happen to have it right here, Wall Street Journal, the Journal of American Business. Manufacturing jobs pay nearly 40% more, 40% more than other jobs in our nation's economy. That's why we need advanced manufacturing. So our bill, Mr. Garamendi's bill, my bill, Mr. Hoyer's bill, would amend the Workforce Investment Act to provide targeted investment to partnerships of community colleges, local workforce investment boards, and advanced manufacturing firms to design and implement education and training programs for current and prospective workers. Now, currently the Trade Adjustment Assistance Community College Program does provide some funding for that type of thing, but unfortunately there's no assurance for investments in advanced manufacturing, and that's where we need to go in this nation. You know, what we need to do is to align the training opportunities for those advanced manufacturing firms, for their needs for adaptability in the training of workers. You know, I toured the Anheuser-Busch Brewery in St. Louis. I've got a
one
lot
of those in my district, too.
And I toured that brewery a couple of weeks ago. And the plant manager told me, the brewery manager told me that in 1999, they had 3,500 hourly employees, and those were good jobs. Those are good jobs. Anybody can tell you that if you had a union brewery job working for Anheuser-Busch, that was a job you'd have for your entire life. That'd be a great career for a working man. And today, they're down from 3,500 to 785 jobs. Now, that's due largely to technology, to improve technology, and they simply didn't need that many workers anymore. But that displacement of workers has happened throughout our economy, and it's happened in other areas of the economy in addition to breweries. And so we need to grow the kind of advanced manufacturing jobs, and we need to have the workers who have the skill to move up so they're not working in those minimum wage jobs and getting food stamps and on Medicaid and those other government programs that are and instead we need people who are paying money in. And that's what our jobs bill does. And I know that Mr. Garamendi and Mr. Hoyer and I want that bill to come to a vote. We believe that bill would pass with a resounding bipartisan vote if simply the leadership would allow it to be brought to the floor for a vote. And advanced manufacturing is growing in this country. It's increasing. But the problem is it's not growing fast enough. When we look at our economy over the last 5 years, since President Obama won election the first time and has managed to halt the, you know, we lost, 5 million jobs when he was first elected virtually immediately, and we've been growing those jobs back, 200,000 a month, 200,000 a month, 195,000 a month. We need to grow them back faster, and we can do that with this Jobs Act. So with that, I'd like to yield back to my partner and friend here, Mr. Garamendi.
Well, thank you.